barely.
Oh, yeah. And so then what would happen is
You'd separate for a little bit.
like I'd stay behind. There was one time when everybody moved to Utah and I wasn't sure I was going to come. So I thought about staying, and I did stay behind for quite a while. I know you said you were afraid I wasn't. We would separate for a period of time and then whatever, and we'd figure it out because for the sake of the kids, right? I had to consider all these children and I wasn't going to take them away from that stability. He started to be away more and I thought, wow, you know, I could do this.
Hey friends, it's Kody from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. I hope you are having a wonderful day. So Christine Brown and Janelle Brown sat down for this joint interview for the cover, like an exclusive cover of People magazine, and they talk about their life after polygamy. And it was an interesting interview because they sat next to each other and shared their experiences of they're sort of Janelle talking about leaving the family, Christine and Janelle talking about their friendship since this family fell apart and how they still have stayed together. And Christine opened up about her new relationship with David. And there was just a couple pieces of information in the interview. I'm not going to go through the entire interview because you can watch that on People's YouTube channel. But in the very beginning of this clip, I showed you that Janelle was talking about how there was a lot of times in her marriage in the very early days that she didn't want to be with Kody anymore. And apparently a lot of it came to head over disagreements that they had and friction that she had with Mary. So she and Mary just did not get along, and it caused her to have just explosive arguments with Kody, and they would have, according to Christine, severely butt heads. And Janelle admits that she left Kody like 3 times. 3 times. In the book, we heard about 1 time that she left. Now she's admitting that she left him 3 times. And this most recent time happened and she felt a sense of relief. So let's dive into today's topic. Before we do, can you please give this video a thumbs up? Also, please subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed by clicking on the subscribe button down below. Click on the bell so you can get notified of any time I go live or new content loads. If you have something that you'd like to say, make sure to say it by leaving a comment, and share this video with your friends.
I went in with such ideas about how idyllic plural marriage was going to be, and it was really hard. It was really hard. Mary and I's personalities are very different. We clashed on everything. There was a lot of jealousy. A lot of, I don't know, it was just really hard. Separate for a period of time and then whatever, and we'd figure it out because for the sake of the kids, right? I had to consider all these children that I had.
I just want to say this because I get the sense when I listen to interviews like this where they go all the way back to the early days and then they skip kind of the middle part and then they go to the end of their marriage. I always feel like for Janelle and Christine, like their family ended when Robin joined, and then they've just been in this like limbo space of like hanging on since Robin joined, because they don't really talk about this period with Robin at all in this interview. They really talk about this period before Robin and then after they left. But that whole period in the middle is sort of ignored. And I've noticed they do this a lot. And I know that they blame Robin a lot because they feel like the family changed after Robin joined. But I feel and I get the sense that their marriages all ended when Robin came in, and they're just not saying that, although they are. And what I hear Janelle here say is that she wanted to leave very early on, but Kody kept getting her pregnant after time after time after time after time. She had 5 kids in a short period of time and felt like she couldn't leave. And so then she ends up staying in a situation where it sounds like she's miserable because she feels like she needs to provide her kids the father of her children. She grew up LDS, doesn't believe in divorce. You know, there's this whole idea that the dad has to be involved, even if the dad isn't around that much. And despite all of that, she still believes in plural marriage, which is beyond me at this point. Like she says that if she ever gets married again, she wouldn't mind joining a plural family. Like, I was like, wow, okay, that's wild. Regardless, it sounds like things were terrible and have been terrible for a long time, and she's finally free.
It was really hard for my household to observe that level just because of my children are adults. So that really started to twist our relationship to the point of breaking. And so he started to be away more, and I thought, wow, I could do this. I could be on my own. I could do this. And then
you know what I feel like? Both Christine and Janelle have said that COVID was sort of like this wake-up call for them because it gave them time away from Kody, and it gave them the courage because they began spending more time without him and realized they could be fine without him. I feel like in a lot of ways what they're saying, without saying it, is that space away from an abusive narcissist gave them the clarity that they were happier without him around. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're in a bad situation and you finally get space and time away from that, and like you don't have Kody in your ear constantly telling you that, like, picking fights between you and the other people, or pitting you and someone else against each other, or creating chaos in your life, and seeming at the same time destroying your sense of self-worth, your self-esteem, making you feel like you can't function without him. And when he disappears and you don't have all that noise in your head, you can finally start to think clearer. That's what I got from what they're saying. It's like I was away from my abuser and I finally had the space to be by myself in my own thoughts and realized I'm better, I'm happier when he's not around. I feel like a lot of people went through this with COVID, whether it was with their intimate partners, with their family, with friends. So many people, COVID helped reveal who we were and helped expose areas in our lives where we weren't happy, and forced a lot of us to make changes. So for that, I'm like, go girls.
And then we had this really big fight, like the biggest fight we probably have ever had. And after he left, I was like relieved. There was like this emotional shock a little bit. And then I was relieved. And I thought, wow, I just felt this burden come off me. And I thought, wow, okay, I guess this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be apart.
So we know by now that the final fight between them is around Christmas 2021, and they're fighting about the holidays, and Kody says that she steals the family, and she says that Cody's manipulative, and he walks out and he storms off, and she's like, no, stay and talk with me. And then she tells the cameraman to turn the camera off. And after that, she's relieved that it's over. Like when you're in a really bad situation and there's a fight, and there's not necessarily like a moment where you're like, we broke up. You just know that after that spot, after things got to that level, you are never going back, and that you never want to talk to that person again. Or, I mean, it's not that you don't want to talk to them, but I mean, she has to talk to them, obviously. But you know that you're never going to go back to that person. And then you are relieved, especially when you've left an abusive man like Kody. It's interesting, right? It's interesting to hear her talk about it in that context. And I feel like they dance around a lot of these issues. They don't outright call him abusive. They don't talk about the manipulation. Although I think we'll see it in this upcoming season. This interview, I don't think, was necessarily a place for them to go to that place. And what I also think is interesting is that they don't talk about having a relationship with Kody after this. Like, to them, it's like they're moving on and they're moving away from this. They don't see themselves like they have to have a connection to him anymore. And Kody does an interview with People magazine, and he's like, I just want to be friends again, and I hope we can get to that place. And these two are like, no, we're never going to be friends. I don't think they'll ever be friends, but that's just me.
Because we never were legally married, I can't really say I'm divorced. I just say I'm no longer with, when I explain it to outside people, I'm like, I'm no longer with my partner. I don't know, like,
Really?
like, what do you say? Partner and I split up, or
You're
sometimes I'll
just
say
single?
divorce.
Are
I'm
you single? Are you single and ready to mingle?
Oh, no. It means like I have infinite ability to choose what my next chapter looks like.
So she basically says that she was never married, so she doesn't call herself divorced. She says she's single. She says they've split up. She's done with this. She doesn't want to date, though she said earlier, and I didn't show you, she does say that she would do plural marriage again. She likes the independence that comes with it, though there's not a lot of people that can do it well, so she doesn't know if that will ever happen. But it seems like she still has this belief system, and she hasn't necessarily abandoned that. But she has left Kody, and she has her ears pierced, which I don't know if you know anything about their belief system, but getting your ears pierced is like a big no-no. You're not supposed to desecrate the body in any way. No tats, no ear piercing. So a lot of them have them now, but I just wanted to point that out. Now, Christine talked a little bit about her new relationship with David, and she mentioned that they've been together since October. She said that he gets her, and one of the biggest things for her with David was for him to understand that she had this woman in her life named Janelle, who she has all these kids with, and that wherever she goes, and if she's going to have a relationship, this guy has to be able to accept Janelle, because Janelle is a part of her life and a part of her story, and her kids are a part of her story. And so she was concerned about that, and apparently David was fine with that. He's accepting of her. She says that she has a lot of baggage with being from a plural family, having a lot of kids, being on a show, that she needed someone that could accept all of those complexities. Their relationship, Janelle and Christine, is really sweet now. They do a lot of things together. They still call each other sister wives. And they both just seem like a light has come off of them. Like almost like they feel like less weighted down. And they don't seem upset. They don't seem depressed. They don't seem angry. I mean, I'm sure that happens. I'm sure they have moments where they feel bad. I'm sure they have grieving moments. I'm sure they all deal with these different things separately. You know, they could have said a lot of things about Kody here, but they didn't. They never even brought up Robin, which I thought was interesting. They only brought up that she only brought up that she had issues with Mary. Frankly, I don't think Janelle or Christine really knew Robin enough to like have any certain complaints about her personally. But they were really like, they didn't say like they were sad about the marriage's ending. It was more like a relief that it was finally over, like they're finally free. And on Kody's interview with People magazine, he's all like, I'm so down, I'm so depressed, I really screwed up, my life is in shambles. Like, he's playing victim, he's playing like depressed, angry, frustrated. And to me, that is just like, what they're doing now is showing that they're getting the best revenge on Kody. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're proving to Kody, like, dude, I don't need you. I don't need you at all. I'm so happy. My life is completely open. Christine's got a new guy that accepts her, that accepts Janelle. Their friendship is stronger than ever. They even said in the same interview that when they were raising kids together and that when they were like in the family together, they didn't necessarily really like each other early on. Like, they kind of tolerated each other. They did things together as a family because of the kids and were around each other. But they admitted that their friendship didn't really grow stronger until they both left Kody. And now they can have this relationship where they're like best friends and they have their kids together. They can support one another through their splits. No one else but the other one understands what they're going through. And in a lot of ways, there's a lot of support there. I've heard a lot of women who've left polygamy and plural marriage say that now that they've left, they are good friends with their sister wives, someone they hated while they were married to the same man because they were competing for him, but then they became friends afterwards because that was removed. And I'm glad to see that they've put things aside. I'm glad to see that they're staying united. And it's just very telling that Kody's like all mopey about it. And then they're just like, dude, we're living our best life. We are so relieved we don't have you anymore. Peace out. So my biggest takeaways from this is that I had no idea that Janelle had left that many times. And I feel like they really understated her problems with Mary. It goes pretty deep, it sounds like. I would love to hear Mary's side of the story, but Mary's like really on the outside looking in. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.